U.S. must also have a backup plan.
If we're not able to reach an agreement, we also need to be prepared as to how we act to make sure Iran does not become a nuclear weapon state.
Negotiators have set a June 30th deadline to reach a deal with Iran. Linda Kenyon, SRN News, Capitol Hill.
Senator Corker also raised concern about how the U.S. is continuing to make concessions in favor of Iran as the deadline for a final agreement approaches. More details at srnnews.com. I'm Keith Peters in Washington.
Glaucoma untreated can lead to blindness. Glaucoma specialist Dr. Brian Flowers.
The pressure inside the eye is elevated and leads to damage of the main nerve that connects the eye to the brain. The scary thing about glaucoma is that there are no symptoms, so you can't feel the pressure. You're unaware that your nerve is dying. By the time you figure out that something's wrong, most people have lost significant amounts of vision.
Vision that can't be restored. A regular eye exam by an ophthalmologist can detect it, followed by treatment.
There are three main ways that we can lower pressure. Various eye drops, laser treatments we do in the office, and there's even surgeries that can be done.
3 million people in the U.S. have glaucoma. Seniors, African Americans, Hispanics, and Asians have a higher risk. So do people with a family history of the disease. To learn more, go to AmericanGlaucomaSociety.net. That's AmericanGlaucomaSociety.net. I'm Aileen Ellis for Primetime Focus, brought to you by AARP.
Hi, this is Ron Sedgey, inviting you to join me for The Tonight Show of Radio every Saturday night, 9 to 11 Pacific Standard Time on CRN Digital Talk Radio. Now in our 24th year and well over 19,000 guests, The Ron Sedgey Show live originates from our Universal Radio studios. Celebrities from TV, music, movies, literature, politics, and show business, at one time or another, they all come to The Ron Sedgey Show. So why don't you?
Welcome to the PM Show, weekend edition on CRN Digital Talk Radio. I'm Michael Horn, the star of our show, ladies and gentlemen, the Sultan of Safeties, 2 safeties in one game, all-pro defensive end, the one and only Mr. Frd Dryer.
Thank you so very much. Welcome back wherever you were, Mike Horn. Were you out with Larry Elder?
Yeah, I was out. Larry Elder has joined our staff, and as you know,
smoking behind the gym.
I was smoking behind the back door of the gym, and was able to talk to Larry. He's very much into sports and loves your show.
Oh, well, wunderbar.
Yeah, that's what I thought you'd want to say.
No, good man.
He is a good guy.
Larry's a good man,
yeah.
And we're glad that he's here with us, and we're glad that the folks here listening are with us. You know, I'm like a lot of people. You know, we do the show live once a week, midweek.
Soon to be every day.
Yeah,
Come on.
Soon to be every day. Well, but for the most part, you know, what we're doing is chipping away at whatever we're having to deal with here on a one-day-a-week basis. We're being replayed, on the weekends.
Yes, show is done live Wednesdays at 4 Pacific,
right.
7 Eastern, replayed throughout the weekend when you're listening to it. So join us if you want to call in on a Wednesday.
Yeah, so the upshot of all of this is that the Bruce Jenner, I was sleeping.
There's a Caitlyn Jenner.
I was, just a second.
I'm sorry.
Gee whiz.
Sorry.
You want to sit over here? Why don't you sit over here and I'll sit over
Well,
here?
I like that chair.
But I'm snoozing away early one morning, and my daughter, Caitlyn, is my daughter's name.
Oh my!
Sends me the picture of Caitlyn Jenner on the cover of Variety magazine.
Someone did that to me too, and I said, "Who is this person?" I realized who it was at first when I saw it.
I thought it was Renee Russo, the actress.
You did.
Did you see that photograph?
Yes, I did. Somebody sent it to me.
Everybody took a shot at. Thanks.
There you go.
Everybody took a shot at who they thought it was for a moment.
Yeah.
And I'm bleary-eyed at 6 in the morning. I don't know about you, but I'm bleary-eyed. I got to feel around for my teeth to put my teeth in before I answer the phone. You know.
Right.
So here's this tweet I've been getting, and here's all this text messages I've been getting on the subject matter. And ever since I've gotten that photograph, ever since I saw it, I've just been inundated with people saying, well, you know Bruce Jenner, don't you? I said, no, I don't know him. Apparently.
Well, I knew him. You don't know Caitlin.
I'm not. Well, here's where I'm going with it. I'm not accepting the fact that he's now a she.
You're not accepting.
No, I'm not. I mean, this is a guy who's kind of like in drag right now. There's no plumbing adjustments being made.
Are you sure of that?
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
Absolutely, I'm sure of that.
Okay.
There's nothing being done yet. There's no tweaking.
Well, but he's a national hero, according to the President of the United States.
He'll say that the country's doing great.
Yeah.
That guy.
Yeah.
So, he'll also say that the Titanic never sank. The president. That's how screwed up this guy is. And so, he should have a sex change operation. I'd go along with that.
You'd go along with that?
Yeah, I would go along with that. He could be black, he could be a socialist, and he could be a woman all at the same time. We kill a lot of birds with one stone.
That's it.
Deal. So, but the point is, and I'll talk about this when we come back, is this Bruce Jenner thing has just got me crazy, and everybody's been texting me and talking to me and asking me my opinions, and I've been sharing those opinions, and when I come back, I'm going to share them with you.
I like that, because you are the one and only Frd Dryer here on the weekend edition of the PM Show, the weekend edition of the PM Show on sports.
Thank you so much.
Your Twitter handle, how do they get you?
Frd_Dryer.
Frd_Dryer. Follow him on Facebook, facebook.com/The Real Frd Dryer. Email him, FredDryer@crntalk.com.
It's hot enough to fry an egg on a garbage can lid. You're watering your plants to help them survive, but don't stop there. They need Miracle-Gro to help them dazzle when it sizzles. A summer feeding makes roots stronger, so they resist summer stress better. Blooms last longer, too. Remember, don't just water your plants. They need to eat in the heat. Skip the fried eggs, but don't skip the summer feeding. Miracle-Gro. Life starts here.
Clean up with deals on top quality hardwood floors from Lumber Liquidators. Tired of that old carpet? Replace it with stylish and affordable hardwood like 5-inch pre-finished oak for just 99 cents. It's easier to clean than carpet, and this week we've got it for less than half of what you'd pay at other stores. Or get easy to install click strand bamboo for $2.49. It's 2 times harder than oak, and now it's 42% less. Plus laminate and more from 49 cents and 18-month special financing. Now is the time to roll up that dingy carpet and lay down a quality hardwood floor. Visit lumberliquidators.com to find a store near you.
Welcome back to the PM Show Weekend Edition on CRN Digital Talk Radio Network, the College Radio Network. Would that be good? The Custom Radio Network? CRN, we got to get it tied in for sports, because I'm Michael Horn. The star of our show is Mr. Sports, the one and only Sultan of Safeties. 2 safeties, ladies and gentlemen, in one game. I saw the actual game ball from that game at Frd Dryer's house. He has that ball in his collection. This is going to be a tough one for someone to get. A safety is interesting. 2 safeties in one game. Unbelievable. He has that record in the NFL. He's the all-pro defensive end. Of course, he's a superstar on Hunter and Land's End and so many great movies, and it's the one and only Frd Dryer.
Thank you so much. Do you know who the 2 quarterbacks were? There wasn't 1 quarterback. There was 2 quarterbacks.
Was it against, was it Minnesota that you played?
Green Bay Packers.
Packers. Oh, yeah, the Pack. One was Bart Starr.
What? No, I'll cut to the chase.
Cut to the chase. Who was it?
People out there know it.
Of
it's
course.
Jim Delgado and Scott Hunter.
Gotcha.
Hunter.
Scott Hunter and Jim Delgado.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can take a look at that. And there's footage on YouTube about this, I think it is. But it's the longer it gets, it's 1973, October something.
Yeah.
1973. But, the longer it gets, the more like it never happened to me.
Really?
It's like I read about it.
Honestly?
It's like I read about it.
Can you go back, though, for a second? I know we're going to get back into this whole topic. Can you go back for a second and think about, I mean, obviously in the game, you are one of the most focused human beings I know. So you were focused on following the ball or whatever. What went through your mind? Anything in particular?
Well,
Did you say, I want to do this or what? I want to nail that guy in the end zone? Was that your thought?
Well, that's my job.
That's
my job. So, you get him backed up, and the quarterback helps you out sometimes. The tackle helps you out, and next thing you know, you're sitting on top of the guy in the end zone. But I digress. The whole conversation I've been having for the last several days.
I know.
Has been Bruce Jenner.
You wanted to bring some happiness to your life now. Let's talk about Bruce Jenner or Caitlyn Jenner.
I'm happy talking about these things because I think it's important that people, put out into the culture, their views and opinions about something that is, I think, predominantly, I think you'd say predominantly, that not only in the sports world, but in the culture, this is driving world politics, for crying out loud. I mean, this thing has just gotten morphed into a hideous beast. And speaking of a hideous beast, did you see the cover of Vanity Fair?
Yes.
And a friend of mine played the video of the photo shoot interview for the cover.
Oh, okay, because it was a well-known photographer that did the photo shoot, and there was a video saying, pose here, turn this, turn to the right.
Yeah, but there was a video being taken of that photo shoot.
Gotcha.
And there was conversations, you know how the whole thing goes. And it's unbelievable. It's like, when you see a ship like the Queen Mary from about a half a mile away, and then you see it from a quarter of a mile away,
right.
And then you get up to about maybe 100 yards, and then you go, wow, this is really interesting. I'm now seeing things I never saw before. Then you walk right up to it, and then you go, holy smoke, is this a piece of junk or what? You know what I mean? That effect? The progressive effect is the closer you get to something, the more you really see it, the more you hate it.
Yeah.
Well, this is kind of like that photograph.
I do that with the CRN van when it's in the parking lot.
Exactly.
Then you get up close and you go like, my gosh.
Yeah, wait a minute. From a mile away, it looked pretty good.
It's
the old joke in the nightclub. If you go to the nightclub and you're trying to pick up girls, the closer to 2:00, it gets.
Girls get prettier at closing time. All the girls get prettier at closing time.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm talking to these people. I talk to a lot of people. I've talked to these people about this situation, and a good portion, most of the people say, oh, gee, she's so brave. I say, stop calling her she. Stop calling her she, please. And the overview is this. I could go on for a long time about this, but I'm not going to do it because we have other topics. But the point I'm trying to make in all of this is that this is a sick person. This person is sick, needs help, never got help from his ex-wife and all the girlfriends and all the wives he was married to who knew this transition and this thing was manifesting itself. So Bruce, apparently, I'm just putting some things together as I see it, figures I've got to find a place to incubate Caitlyn. So I'm going to hide in the tarantula nest of the Kardashian house. And so the
tarantula nest,
yes,
of the Kardashian house. Okay,
ass implants veiled in black, and here's this person now hiding and submerging into the Kardashian family, so he could manifest and incubate this new person that's going to give birth.
Gotcha.
And so now here it is, and it's terrible, and everybody's fake crying. And all the stuff you saw on TV, all the things that were done, with the family, asking Bruce, gee, Bruce, where's Bruce going to go if we have Caitlyn? And what's going to happen now? Can I still call you Dad? And all these things that the kids are going through, and people are wondering, were presented to us in a television format as if we're just seeing it along with them for the first time. When this thing has been coming out of the ground now for the last 25, 30, 35 years, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
So now we have this the celebration of the birth of Caitlyn, and everybody is now celebrating how wonderful, how brave, and it comes down to this. We're using this man's sickness to celebrate our tolerance. And that's what it is. We're now being tolerant of and so accepting and so understanding of what is going on, instead of saying, I got to get you to a hospital. Have you talked about getting psychiatric help there, Caitlyn, Bruce, whatever the hell your name is? There's a lot of this stuff going on, and I can't help but have this stuff. I can't help but see this stuff bleed through.
But I hear you there. But what about the medical professionals that diagnosed him as being trapped inside of a man's body, because that led along with his transition where he went to try to get some help, and they said, after talking to psychs and shrinks and all that stuff, hey, you're a woman inside a man's body, and they sort of validated it for him to go ahead and go through with this.
I think it's a mental condition.
Yeah, I think it is too. But I'm just saying that they said this is what's wrong, and so you should maybe just succumb to this or whatever, and so he did.
Well, of course he did, and instead of getting treatment for it.
And he's maybe happy now. Will he be happy 5 years from now, 10 years, or whatever?
Here's my point.
Yes.
You can make the physical transition
right.
to whatever length you want.
Right.
But he's still progressively sick. He is still mentally not satisfying and satiating his thinking capacity and his.
So you're worried about him.
And I'm always worried about people who are this extreme, playing it out like he is. And by the way, the psychosomatic sexual aspect of the human being is so deep and complicated. It's almost impossible for anybody to figure out how and why and where to approach it and how to address it. I'm not saying that he's lying. All I'm saying is, let's see if he goes forward with this actual sex change operation, takes his place and lives and believes he's a woman, and let's see what happens. If he doesn't do that, something's wrong. He's got to consummate this thing. And I believe me, the feminist politic is making him and driving him towards that decision.
Email Frd Dryer, Dryer, at crntalk.com. You're experiencing pain, back pain, shoulder, elbow, or hand pain from a sports injury. If so, schedule a visit with Dr. Michael Sheps, the leading expert in laser therapy for pain management. Call 310-873-4422 or go to drsheps.com. Experience Epic T, the breakthrough laser therapy system that Dr. Sheps developed to make you pain-free in less time. Laser therapy is a non-invasive, safe, and effective in-office procedure that penetrates deep into your skin without damaging the tissue. It perfectly targets areas of pain to promote fast, natural healing. Relax your muscles, ease muscle spasms, joint stiffness, and arthritis pain while increasing blood circulation. For over 25 years, Dr. Sheps has helped Olympic athletes and sports enthusiasts alike get back in the game. Schedule your visit with Dr. Sheps at his Brentwood office in California. Call 310-873-4422 or visit drsheps.com. That's DRSHEPS.com, 310-873-4422.
Hi, I'm Joan London, and if you're worried about your parent or a loved one living alone like I was, and you want reliable senior care information, then call A Place for Mom, the nation's largest senior living referral service. You'll get free information on assisted living, Alzheimer's care, nursing homes, even important financial information.
They had obviously researched every place, not just given me names.
Really?
They found me a place for what she could afford, and it was magnificent.
We're now very confident that she's safe, and they just helped every step of the way, and I can't thank them enough.
So if you're struggling to find reliable senior living information, call A Place for Mom. This is a free service, and you can trust them to help you.
If you're struggling to find reliable senior living information for your mom or dad, then call or go online to get the free help you need during this turbulent time. Call now, 800-471-5173, 800-471-5173.
You order a glass of your favorite Cabernet, fresh asparagus, hollandaise on the side, a filet, medium rare. You unfurl your napkin with a flair, close your eyes, and prepare to listen. Ah, there it is. The sweet music you long to hear. The sizzle. The sizzle of a Ruth's Chris steak.
The most magnificent corn-fed prime beef, broiled to perfection at 1800 degrees. Some call it a sizzle. We call it an anthem.
As the waiter approaches, you think, is this one mine or that one?
Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. Like Ruth always said, life's too short to eat anywhere else.
Make a reservation online at ruthschris.com or by calling 800-544-0808. It's the PM Show, weekend edition on sports from CRN Digital Talk Radio. I'm Michael Horn, the star of our show, the one and only Mr. Frd Dryer.
Thank you so much. We're on the tail end of a conversation that I think is going to continue for an awful long time, both in and out of the sports world, and that is the reassignment of the sexual apparatus of Bruce Jenner and his larvae, butterfly transition and reassignment into Caitlyn Jenner.
And here's the thing. I mean, this is a great talk show topics and everything. You can talk about this, but if then Bruce Jenner is now Caitlyn Jenner, the records that were set, not Caitlyn's records, they would be Bruce's records because he was a man when he did these, when he set the records for running and all that stuff. Caitlyn Jenner had nothing to do with that. She starts anew with a new life here. Am I right?
But Caitlyn could now.
Yes.
I think that's mine there.
Yeah, and I'll have one too. Thank you so much, Courtney.
Yeah.
And
but anyway, but Caitlyn could now enter into the Olympics and just wail, man.
She could. That's what I'm saying. So she could enter into the Olympics now. And
Caitlyn could break.
You've got the
Bruce
greatest
Jenner's records.
This is now. You want to see the absurdity of this because a lot of you may say, "Well, I don't believe Fred. Fred's not sensitive. Fred doesn't know what he's talking about." Now, here's the question.
Well, I don't.
I know that's true, but people know that our regular listeners don't.
I just happen to be in front of a
microphone. Here's the question: what if Caitlyn Jenner wants to get into some kind of event or something, even at this age 60s or whatever Caitlyn is now? And isn't she going to have an advantage? Didn't they have problems with that guy, Dr. Richard whatever, that became a woman and was in the tennis tournament? Remember that years and years ago when I was a youngster? Dr. Richard.
Renee Richards.
Renee Richards was Dr. Richard somebody, and then Dr. Richard somebody became Renee Richards, and they allowed Renee Richards to play tennis. And Renee Richards did pretty well because basically Renee Richards came from being a man, for God's sakes, and over to a woman. So wouldn't Caitlyn have an unfair advantage against the other women?
You can't say that because the politics says she's a woman now.
Okay, that's what I wanted to ask you. That's all.
The politics says she's a woman. He is now a woman, and therefore she can enter into a contest and compete against other women and break world records. She can actually beat his own records in the decathlon.
Thank you, Caitlyn. Yes. I'm sorry. This is called bolstered Caitlyn. I didn't mean that. I'm sorry. So that's right. This is the absurdity of it, but it's like this is great talk show fodder. We could get pros and cons on this and take the next 5 hours and take calls on this.
I don't want to talk about.
Okay. What else you got for the news? Let's go to the next story. Let's go.
Anyway.
It's good, but you get us thinking, Frd Dryer. It's very good.
Well, no, I look at this and had I not been awakened to that ugly photograph of Bruce, who I knew as Bruce, like many people did, but I knew as Bruce, and suddenly now he's saying, "Hey, Fred, could you just now? I'm going to dress up and stuff and have some breast implants and shave my legs. But could you now just treat me as a woman? I'm now a woman. Just wipe out everything you know about me. I'm now a woman. I'm not going to do that. It's like talking to. It's not like you were talking to a 3-year-old who says, well, honey, what do you think what do you want to be when you grow up? I'm going to be a princess. I'm going to be a princess, and then I'm going to do this. That's one conversation because for a fact in 15 minutes you want to be the king or something else. But this is talking to an adult, 65 years of age, who says to me now, forget about what I was 15 minutes ago. I'm now Caitlyn. And as soon as I have this reassignment, this plumbing situation taken care of, then maybe you'll take me out to dinner. I don't know.
Well, I'm going to come on the show just to prove that point. Next week is Michaela Horn. So I'll be here with the show.
You got a lot of work to do in the next week.
I have. Now, 6 weeks on the DL, this Masahiro Tanaka came back to the Yankees, made about 80 pitches on Wednesday afternoon against the Seattle Mariners, and tossed 7 great innings.
He did?
Back. So I think that's good news. I mean, I like to see people come back from the DL list. More and more people get on that DL list.
They've got a great buffet over there.
It's really.
The Yankees have a great buffet.
Yep. So let's see what else we. What other news do you have? It's a good buffet.
Yes, a very good.
There's an ankle sprain, by the way, and the Cubs have somebody else on the DL list. They're going to be without. They've got all those exciting new guys. Jorge Soler is going to be on the DL list, 15-day DL list.
Yeah. Well, more importantly, when we come
left
back,
ankle sprain.
I want to talk a little bit about FIFA. I told the people on Periscope today that I would talk a little bit about FIFA. I want to talk about this president, Sepp Blatter. Who they finally decided, hey, maybe you should go too.
Really?
Yeah, so he's stepped down. He's resigned, but he's going to stay in place until they find someone else that he can say, now, here's what I want you to do. I want you to continue what I was doing and give me some money onto the table.
Straight ahead, we continue. It's the PM Show Weekend Edition on sports with the one and only Frd Dryer. You can email Frd Dryer at crntalk.com. Follow him, tweet him away there at Frd_Dryer, D-R-Y-E-R. Frd_Dryer. That'll get you right to him. CRN travelers, relax at the beautiful Fountain Grove Inn and Conference Center in Santa Rosa, California. Come to quality and come to luxury. Experience the newly renovated guest rooms. They're generously sized and they're decorated in the Tuscan tradition. They have great, incredible pillow-top mattresses, luxurious linens, and down-filled comforters. The Fountain Grove Inn also offers complimentary Wi-Fi and internet access. There's warm cookies and coffee every evening in the hotel lobby, and you can visit the newly remodeled Equus Restaurant and Equus Lounge with its new wine bar. It's the ideal place to relax and enjoy a glass of wine and watch our What's Cooking on Wine show on CRN with host Larry Van Alst on Wednesdays. It's the Fountain Grove Inn, Hotel, and Conference Center located in the heart of Sonoma wine country. It's easily located in Santa Rosa off the 101 Fountain Grove Parkway exit. Call 707-578-6101. That's 707-578-6101 or visit fountaingroveinns.com.
What are you going to do with your old car? You can try selling it, you could junk it, or you could donate it to Heritage for the Blind. Your car will be towed away for free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats. It doesn't matter if your vehicle runs or not. It will be towed away for free, and you'll be supporting those that need help. Heritage for the Blind is a nonprofit organization that helps the visually impaired live fuller lives. Call right now to donate your car, and as a special thank you for calling, you'll receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to many exciting locations. Call Heritage for the Blind right now, 1-800-785-9618. Donating is easy, and your vehicle is towed away for free. Plus, you'll get a free vacation voucher. Call now, 1-800-785-9618. That's 1-800-785-9618.
Now that Rite Aid has joined the Plenty program, Wellness Plus is even more rewarding because now you get a second easy way to save. That's right. On top of the amazing values you enjoy with Wellness Plus points, your new card gives you Plenty points, which can be earned in one place and used for savings in another. Earn and use your Plenty points at Rite Aid, Macy's, AT&T, Exxon and Mobil, and other participating partners. It's even more of the value you love. It's Wellness Plus with Plenty. Get your new card at Rite Aid today. With us, it's personal.
I am a non-attorney spokesperson. Attention men who've taken Androgel or any other testosterone therapy products. Androgel or other low-T products have been linked to heart attack, stroke, pulmonary embolism, deep vein thrombosis, even death. Scientific studies indicate that the use of testosterone therapy products may double a man's risk of heart attack. If you or a loved one took Androgel or a testosterone therapy product and suffered from a heart attack, stroke, pulmonary embolism, deep vein thrombosis, or any other cardiac event, you might be entitled to financial compensation. You have rights, and you need to let us fight for your rights. And you pay no fees unless we win. So call the tort attorneys right now. 800-557-7921. 800-557-7921. That's 800-557-7921. Cases may be referred to participating law firms in your jurisdiction.
Hi, this is Frd Dryer. Join me and Michael Horn on the PM Show Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, here on CRN Digital Talk. We talk about things in the sports world nobody else does. So listen in to me and Mike at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on CRN Digital Talk. And go to crntalk.com for more information on other show times. And don't forget to take us with you by downloading the CRN app on the App Store.
Welcome back to the PM Show Weekend Edition on CRN Digital Talk Radio. I'm Michael Horn, along with the one and only acting legend. I mean, this guy had so many great series and movies, most notably Hunter, Land's End. The list goes on and on. He was a all-pro defensive end, played for the Rams, played for the New York Giants, signed by them. Talking about the one and only Frd Dryer. Do you recall your signing day with the Giants?
Yeah,
when
I do.
What was that like?
I was at 10 Columbus Circle in New York City.
Yep.
In Wellington Mara's office with my attorney, John Thomas.
Wow.
And I flew in there and I inked the contract.
Amazing.
And then after that, we were excited. So we went for a walk around the city, walked around the park. I walked from 10 Columbus Circle, which you know is right there at 57th Street.
Right.
59th Street.
59th Street.
Excuse me. 59th Street. And
59th Street Bridge Song.
And then we walked all the way down to the reservoir.
Wow.
And then crossed over.
And you remember that walk, right?
I was on the east side, and then I looked around and I said, this is the east side. I think I'd like to live over here. And
was there excitement? There had to be a lot of excitement.
Yeah.
And this was how many years ago, approximately?
1969.
1969. Yeah. 79, 89, 90, 2009.
45 years ago.
You were signed. So you listen to this one.
Yeah.
Rick Monday, 50 years ago this week.
Uh-huh.
He remembers when he was 17 and he was across the dinner table from Tommy Lasorda, and Monday's mother, Nelda, kept insisting that she wanted Rick to get an education. Lasorda kept ripping up the paper that included the Dodgers signing bonus and kept increasing it. First, Tommy doubled the original number. Then he wrote down an eye-popping sum that gave both mother and son pause. It was $20,000. This was back in 1963, and in the end, Nelda Monday still turned down Tommy's offer. Rick Monday attended Arizona State University, but before he left the dinner table, she made Lasorda a promise that her son would turn down the other scouts after he got his education and sign with the Dodgers. So did he really sign with the Dodgers and they traded him to the Cubs and then he got back to the Dodgers again? I don't think so. I don't think the Dodgers signed him. He never fulfilled the promise.
Didn't he go to the Cubs?
Yeah, because he went with the Cubs and then the Dodgers had to trade for him. Actually, he was signed by Charlie Finley's Kansas City Athletics at first.
Right, that's right. Yeah.
So this was great, and I guess Kevin Kennedy, the coach, was also drafted by the Orioles.
Well, he just wasn't drafted; he was the number one pick.
Number one pick, is that what it was?
In the first draft.
Yeah. So Rick Monday, number one pick, and so it's a great career that he had, not only with the Royals and the Cubs, but mainly with the Dodgers when he rescued that flag.
Yeah, it was a great moment.
You're a big Rick Monday fan. You like him as an announcer, don't you?
I do like Rick personally, and I like
Rick
him
is a good guy.
as an announcer. I think he's genuinely a good person, and that comes through in his broadcasting, which is important, Mike Horn.
Yep, it is important, isn't it? It is good. You got to be likable. Am I right?
Well, you have to let people. You have to let people in on who you are and what you believe in, and there's your job description, and then there's how you go about doing it. Look at Vinny. I mean,
Vin Scully of the Dodgers, one of the greats.
He's just great.
After Rick was drafted, he said it'd take him about 3 or 4 years. 12 years after he was drafted, he made it back to his home because the Cubs traded him to the Dodgers, and that was the deal. Because one of the all-star Dodgers of all time was Billy Buckner, one of the great players. Injured, used to soak every piece of his body in ice after the game. There's a gamer, I'll tell you. Billy Buckner broke his ankle.
He went to Cubs. He went to the Cubs
and became a fixture at the Cubs.
First
they
baseman.
loved him, and that's a team. That was a trade where both teams. Buckner was a great first baseman. Monday became the great center fielder for the Dodgers.
Yeah, that's right. But here's the other thing that was really interesting: the flag that he saved.
Yes, that was somebody tried to light it on fire in center field, and Rick Monday was with the Cubs at the time and picked it up. Yeah.
But you know what happened when he was traded to the Dodgers? He asked the Dodgers to give him the flag.
Because the Dodgers had saved that flag, right?
And they gave it to Rick, and to this day, he and his wife use that as promotional, a promotional prop to raise money for soldiers.
That's great. See, that's a good guy.
See?
I like Rick Monday and his wife. That's good.
You see that?
That's good
See
stuff.
how that works? And that's the way it should be.
Yep.
In the meantime, you've got people who are confused in life, no matter how old they are.
You're getting back to that story again, aren't you?
No, I'm going to jump into.
Jump back into. I just want to tell everybody the story we're talking about, just in case you don't know, because it happened many years ago during the times of protest. Kids jumped on the field, or the young adults, and they wanted to put lighter fluid. Rick Monday's sitting out there as a cub in center field, and he sees them. He sees lighter fluid. He knows they're going to light it. So before they can even light it, and it could have been engulfed in flames, and he could have caught fire. He just takes off running, grabs the flag, and runs. And then the authorities come and take these people off the field. But he saved the American flag from being burned, and I applaud that as one of the great moments in baseball.
While Rick is doing that, you have guys like Ray McDonald pounding his girlfriend incessantly.
Oh, boy. What happened now? Tell us the story.
Well, a former San Francisco 49er and Chicago Bear defensive tackle, Ray McDonald, allegedly kneed his pregnant ex-fiancée in the stomach and repeatedly attacked her. And they're trying to figure out, how we can save him and how we can wash this deed that would make his returning to the NFL palatable. And people were really upset at the Bears for signing this guy. And look, how stupid do you have to be?
That is dumb. With everything going on in football nowadays, to do anything stupid.
But management does know this. If one thing is clear, nobody is irreplaceable. Yeah. You can replace anybody. Ask Johnny Unitas. Ask all the great ones. The game goes on, and if you think you have to engineer people's emotions and do what's not in the best interest of people, just so this guy Ray McDonald can play a defensive tackle for the Bears.
She claimed she was attacked multiple times over a period of several months. Yeah.
That we know of.
Yeah.
That we know of. I'm taking this. I'm putting this in the pile over here.
Are you going to do that?
I'm going to get rid of that.
Yeah, I mean, that's terrible stuff. And then, I keep saying that the NFL shouldn't treat everybody like thugs, and then you get another one of these stories. It's just terrible.
Yeah, well, there you go. And but look, the beat goes on in sports. The sports world now has been inundated with the politic. Not only are people stupid, you've got people in the politics that want to tell you what you're seeing is not what you're looking at. And that's the fun of it. And that's one of the reasons I think that we started, this last year going to sports rather than talking strictly about politics.
Much more fun talking about sports, don't you think?
Yeah, well, but plus you can cover politics within sports. I mean, you get both.
That's very true. It is very true. You're going to throw out the first pitch sometime, aren't you?
Yeah, not this weekend, though. I've got things I got to do.
All right. Take a quick break.
I got a cigar.
PM Show Weekend Edition on Sports on CRN. Frd Dryer, Michael Horn. Email Frd Dryer, FredDryer@crntalk.com.
It's hot enough to fry an egg on a garbage can lid. You're watering your plants to help them survive, but don't stop there. They need Miracle Grow to help them dazzle when it sizzles. A summer feeding makes roots stronger, so they resist summer stress better. Blooms last longer, too. Remember, don't just water your plants. They need to eat in the heat. Skip the fried eggs, but don't skip the summer feeding. Miracle Grow. Life starts here.
Clean up with deals on top quality hardwood floors from Lumber Liquidators. Tired of that old carpet? Replace it with stylish and affordable hardwood like 5-inch pre-finished oak for just 99 cents. It's easier to clean than carpet, and this week we've got it for less than half of what you'd pay at other stores. Or get hand-scraped bamboo for $1.99. It's beautifully textured, and now it's 43% less. Plus laminate and more from 49 cents and 18-month special financing. Now is the time to roll up that dingy carpet and lay down a quality hardwood floor. Visit LumberLiquidators.com to find a store near you.
Your local pharmacist is also a Health Mart pharmacist, and they're not like other pharmacists.
After Mom's surgery, I was overwhelmed, but I was so relieved. Her Health Mart pharmacist was there to help. They explained her medication and even delivered to her house. Mom got the personal service she needed, and I got something even better. Peace of mind.
Visit healthmart.com to find a locally owned Health Mart pharmacy near you. Health Mart, caring for you and about you.
I'm Jay Farner with some great news on how you could save an average of $3,000 per year on your mortgage. Call Quicken Loans now at 800-QUICKEN. to see if you qualify for the government's Home Affordable Refinance Program, or HARP. The HARP guidelines have changed. There's less paperwork and often no appraisal required. Call 800-QUICKEN. That's 800-QUICKEN. Or visit QuickenLoans.com.
Important terms and conditions apply. Call us for cost information. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states and MLS number 3030.
It's the PM Show, weekend edition on sports from CRN Digital Talk Radio. I'm Michael Horn, along with the star of our show, the one and only Mr. Frd Dryer.
Thank you so much. Look what I found here.
What'd you find?
Under the topic of football, NFL chooses Yahoo as partner and experiment to stream game. The NFL says it has chosen Yahoo as its partner in an experiment to stream a football game internationally in October. The league had announced in March that it planned to stream the October 25 matchup between Buffalo and Jacksonville from London. The NFL said Wednesday it will use Yahoo's platforms for the free broadcast. The game starts at 9:30 a.m., and it will be televised only in the local markets of the two teams. You know, this is going to go very well. This is going to be a very good thing for the league. I think it's you start streaming this stuff, and it's another avenue. It's another source of multi-platforming the NFL. This is going to make this sport. People all over the world, will be looking on their cell phone, at the Buffalo. Jacksonville game from London, and they'll be, robbing the bank or something, and the guy says, "Why didn't you pull the car up? You're late pulling the car around so we can get out of here." He said, "Well, I was just watching the game."
That's it.
And so what I told you the story when I was in Israel in 1986. I was at the Well of Mary in a Greek Orthodox church in Jerusalem. And I was looking at the Well of Mary. This was a specific spot where Mary went down, got the water, and the angel came down and said, "You're going to have a baby. It's going to be Jesus, by the way." And so she hit the jackpot. And so on the way out, coming up the steps and coming through the church and then out through the old steel doors and out onto the quad that led me back to my car so I could go into Jerusalem, there was like about 100 Arab kids with these red and white kaffirs on their head. And as soon as I came out, they all chanted, "Hunta, Hunta, Hunta." Every one of these kids were Hunter
Was
fans.
that Junta or Hunter?
They pronounced it Hunta as if they were Jewish.
So
the irony of the whole thing.
recognized you
they
from
recognized
not
me
your
as,
football career.
They recognized me in 1986 as Hunter. Why? Because the show had just been sent out globally, not just domestic syndication, but it was now around in 100 countries. And I was looking at this. I was amazed by it. And there was a couple of kids who spoke a little bit of English, not enough to have a conversation with, but they were very excited. So I shook hands with them. Nobody asked me for autographs. They don't do that. But I just shook hands with them and mingled amongst them and walked through
Hunter,
them.
man.
And,
Come on. You're a star.
Yeah, well, of course. And so that night I'm thinking about this, I said, I'll bet you, because of this experience, I know for a fact Yasser Arafat was a Hunter fan.
Of course.
I know he watched it. Can you imagine him being there, sitting around all these AK-47s?
Yeah.
And, someone saying, "Hey, Yasser, we got to get going. Let's go. Get the truck. Got the guys on the truck. Let's go. Just a second. Hunter's still on." I can well imagine.
Wait, back up. What would he say?
Hunter's still on. Don't worry. I'll be there in a minute. Get the truck. Have a Coke. Have a cigarette. I'll be right there.
Sounds like somebody from Jerusalem for a second there.
Hey.
Sounds like Mr. Zwern who sold me shoes back in high school.
But it works.
Just a second. I was like, give me one of them bagels, would you please?
How about that story? Yeah, but that's right.
Hunter's on.
Come on, do it.
Gotta do it. Come on.
What's wrong with you, you schmuck? So anyway.
What a touching story this is.
No, it is. It's a beautiful story.
It is a story. It is a beautiful story.
And so I'm thinking to myself, gosh, Yahtzee, the funny thing is Rabin and all those big guys, all those stars over there were
Clem Rabin,
the left-hander
from the Dodgers, and Yasiel Puig Arafat.
But Arafat and all the headhunters over there, all these guys were just Hunter fans. I know that if I was captured, they would have
let you go
before they whacked me. The guy would bend down. I'd say, what are the Vikings doing? And he'd come over and he'd stick the phone in front of my head. And he'd say, look at this. Look at that play. It's a replay. Look at that. Wow. Okay, now you can whack him, I mean,
these are touching stories from your life.
That's how unbelievable being alive today is.
It is great.
Everybody knows everybody.
Let me ask you, if you and I would have been like buddies, like we are now, close personal pals, would you have included me on a Hunter episode as maybe one of the bad guys or something?
No.
I didn't think so. I didn't think you would do that. I just had to ask the question.
We can't test the friendship to that degree.
Let's get to some other sports.
Can't do it.
So Dean Lombardi, the general manager of the Los Angeles Kings, they won 2 Stanley Cups in like 3 years and looked like they had a chance to get in again this year. They didn't even make the playoffs. He says they were embarrassed. He said they got what they deserved. He had a conference call and talked to the media about this. Apparently, they locked out their manager at some point back in February of this year when the season was still going real strong. They locked out the coach Sutter out of his own locker room. He couldn't get in. The players kept him out. They had drug dealings over there with Jarrett Stoll being picked up on drug charges in Las Vegas. This team's got some problems. Yeah, this has got some problems.
Suddenly, why? Why?
Because they had all this success and people started looking at them. And all of a sudden they start believing who they are. As you're a sports personality, someone told me, an old buddy of mine, Sweet Dick Whittington, famous radio personality, now known as Caitlin after his name Sweet. Yeah. He said that the problem with being popular or famous, as you were with Hunter and with the Rams, is when you start believing it, that's when you get into trouble. When Elvis started believing he was Elvis, that's when he went downhill. Is he right about that?
It's autobiographical to whoever's famous.
That's right.
It can be.
You got to keep yourself grounded. Your feet have to be on the ground.
I think Elvis was great as human being. A lot of people said that, but I think it was too many peanut butter sandwiches that got him.
You think it was?
Yeah.
Well, because he believed he was Elvis. He could have anything he wanted.
That's right, Mama.
Including peanut butter sandwiches,
That's right, baby.
We continue here.
Pull the caddy around.
Come to Angelo's and Vinci's Restaurante in Fullerton, California for our sizzling party savings. Book your wedding event or reception, your birthday bash, or a special event of any kind and celebrate at Angelo's and Vinci's. Come to Angelo's and Vinci's and celebrate in one of our many festive banquet rooms. It's an incredible fun event you'll never forget. Food, music, and lots of fun. Call for the details and don't forget our daily lunch and dinners, plus our Sunday champagne brunch. Just $14.95. Minestrone soup, sausage and peppers, pastas, chicken dishes, salads, scones, and muffins. Plus so much more, a chocolate fondue fountain, Zeppelis, cannolis, fresh fruit, champagne, and Junior will be waiting to make the omelet of your choice from our omelet bar. Angelo's and Vinci's has been voted on the Orange County Hot List as one of the top 5 Italian restaurants for the past 6 years. And don't forget our award-winning pizzas. Thin or thick, they're yummy. It's all at Angelo's and Vinci's Restaurante at 550 North Harbor Boulevard in Fullerton, California. Call 714-879-4022, 714-879-4022.
The scary thing about glaucoma caused by pressure in the eye is there are no symptoms. Untreated, it causes blindness. Glaucoma specialist, Dr. Brian Flowers.
Most people should get a complete eye exam around the age of 40. Not only checking the pressure, but someone needs to look at the optic nerves. Checking pressure by itself will only detect about 50% of the glaucoma cases. So someone really needs to look in the back of the eye and see how the nerve is holding up to whatever pressure that given individual has.
So see an ophthalmologist for this quick eye exam.
Once you get into the 60s, the checks become more often, approaching every year as you get to 65 and beyond.
Unfortunately, millions who have glaucoma never get this test.
You can walk around seeing normally, yet your optic nerve is under attack. If it's not addressed, then you will end up with profound vision loss.
To learn more, go to AmericanGlaucomaSociety.net. That's AmericanGlaucomaSociety.net. I'm Aileen Ellis. That's Primetime Focus, brought to you by AARP.
Have you ever considered adding a home security system but thought it would be too expensive? Here's the good news. There's never been a more affordable time to help protect your home, valuables, and your loved ones. You can now get a $100 Visa card from Protect Your Home, your authorized ADT dealer, with the installation of a new ADT monitored system. Here's even better news. Your new system, worth $850, is free. You pay just a $99 installation charge and purchase monthly monitoring for less than $2 a day. Call Protect Your Home today at 1-866-669-8954. That's 1-866-669-8954. Get the peace of mind that comes with owning an ADT monitored system, plus a $100 Visa card from Protect Your Home. Call now, 1-866-669-8954. That's 1-866-669-8954. 36-month monitoring contract required. General terms and conditions apply. Visit protectyourhome.com/terms.
PM Show Weekend Edition on CRN Digital Talk Radio. I'm the announcer here, Michael Horn. The man who's shouting in the background is the one and only star of our show, Mr. Frd Dryer. Okay, the Stanley Cup Finals. Chicago's Blackhawks against the Tampa Bay Lightning. We'll get Fred's pick, but first I have to tell you, Hulk Hogan, one of the all-time great sports celebrities, has weighed in on the final. He says, Chicago's in a whole bunch of trouble, brother. The Chicago Blackhawks, everybody's picking them, but pro wrestler Hulk Hogan, he's a Florida resident. His daughter, Brooke, has sung the national anthem at the Tampa Bay Lightning games, is fully backing his home team in the Stanley Cup Flyers. He says, I'm going home this week, and I'm thinking I'm going to have a little talk with some of the Lightning guys. Chicago's in a whole bunch of trouble, brother. What are you going to do when these pythons come squeezing you?
Is that what he said?
No, I added that last one there. So
you added that? You added that?
I added that last line.
Man.
So who is going to win?
You got to let me know when you're going to editorialize.
Blackhawks or Tampa Bay Lightning?
Tampa Bay.
I'm picking them with you.
I'm picking Tampa Bay.
Let's go with it and see. Now,
although the Blackhawks, they're a pretty tough group.
They are. Now, the big story of this week.
Did I just say that?
Yes, you did. The big story this week, and it's a huge story, is my friend, Frd Dryer, this week, got himself a brand new television set.
I did.
Yeah, and we hooked that up.
32-inch Samsung.
I got to go up into his boudoir and also his bedroom and hook up the TV for you. And you had a problem with it at first. You had a fabulous Sony Trinitron, and you get all ticked off, and you said the thing just gave up the ghost. And you went there and showed me, and the picture was frozen. I said, Fred, I don't think it's the TV. This is after we bought the big 1050 Samsung, TV and all, it's just Wi-Fi ready and smart TV. And so I unplugged what they call rebooted the box, and all of a sudden your TV worked again. And you had to make the ultimate decision: take the new TV back and stay with the Sony Trinitron.
I would have never done that.
You didn't. No. We hooked the new TV up. You found you have an HDMI cable, which changed immensely the quality of the picture, didn't it?
Yes, it did.
And are you enjoying the TV as you're now into the new millennium?
And it fits beautifully on my beautiful marble table there in my room. And I took the other Trinitron out and put it in the other room.
Is it still on the floor where we set it?
Yeah. How heavy was that TV?
That was a heavy TV.
No, it wasn't.
It really was. I wouldn't put that on a shelf somewhere above my head, above the bed.
And it's like 3.5 feet thick.
It is.
No, it's ridiculous. And so, when you weigh the two out, I mean, literally, figuratively speaking, $360 all in for the new television, and the other one was just so outdated. I mean, it looks great because it's sleek and it looks
beautiful.
It looks like it comes right out of the dashboard of a rocket ship.
You have Time Warner Cable, and they're now free updating the speed of the internet. And you could get a Wi-Fi unit in your house, and that way you could start watching some of the old Hunter shows and stuff on Hulu and all the different apps there that are the sites that are on the smart TV. Yeah. So I think we should get that for you. That should be the next thing we hook up. Is that the next thing?
I can watch Hunter as I'm going to sleep.
Yeah. You can kind of study it and say, that's a great thing.
Is that music playing?
Yeah, it's the telling us that we're kind of winding down here. It's the 2-minute warning, actually minute-and-a-half warning. It's been a great show. We've talked about a lot of great topics.
Yeah.
Did Caitlyn Jenner come by your house to see the new TV yet?
Yeah, I'm gonna send her a box of cigars and some Sherry's Berries. I think that'll lure her over.
With Sherry's Berries and some cigars. That'll be good. All right, if you miss anything, go to our website at crntalk.com. And by the way, download our cell phone app. It's absolutely free on your smartphone. Just dial, do not text, dial pound 250 and then hit send. When prompted, say CRN Talk. A link will be sent to your phone. Here. You press the link, it downloads the app immediately.
Look at the app I got.
Fred's got it. He's got the CRN app already.
CRN app on
It's
TV.
right there. It came right. Got it by dialing pound 250 send and then saying CRN Talk. Email Frd Dryer at crntalk.com. Follow him on Twitter. Fred_Dryer, D-R-Y-E-R. And of course on Facebook.com/The Real Frd Dryer. What you got for us? Final thoughts?
Final thoughts is that I am completely male and heterosexual to this date so far. And, well, we'll see you next week.
How do you like my sweater?
No.
CRN Digital Talk Radio prides itself on being the station of every situation. And you can listen to us on nearly any platform and device. Download to your iPhone, Android, and BlackBerry episodes of What's Cookin'. And take Master Sommelier Michael Jordan with you to the wine shop so he can help you pick out that perfect bottle of wine. Stream episodes of the Sonoma Wine Report through our CRN app, TuneIn Radio, Nobex, Stitcher, UTunes, or AHA Radio. And start planning that unforgettable weekend in the wine country. They're in your corner on iHeartRadio, iTunes, and many other apps. And of course, you can always listen live through your local cable TV provider, as well as on our website at crntalk.com. For more information on where to listen to these great shows, along with many others, log on to crntalk.com and create your own listening experience today.
The Radio Channel.